In the olden days, I used to have young millennials. They were professional, they were pros, and they were great at reading and recording and had great voice, great narrating. Unfortunately, they have abandoned their skills, and I think both of them live at home with their parents and never capitalized on the gift that God gave them. So, unfortunately, the old captain has to read his own articles. This is one that I wrote today, and I thought it very useful to everybody out there, and so I decided to record it as well. You can tell how much value I put on pieces I write, depending on how many places I post it. So the fact I'm actually taking the time to record something I just wrote is an indication. The title is The Role Stupid People Should Play in Society. The main three goals of humanity. As far as my logic takes me, humanity has three main goals. 1, to find out why we are here. 2, to achieve total knowledge of the universe and unlock its secrets. And in the process, 3, achieve immortality. This is, of course, not going to happen overnight. Matter of fact, all three of these goals are easily a millennia off into the future, if not more. And sadly, that means the majority of humans will simply not achieve immortality, and everyone alive today will merely be contributors to those goals, not the final achievers of them. This then presents a paradox for humans alive today. If you're not going to achieve any one of the three main goals of humanity, what is the next best use of your time? And logic would conclude enjoying your life through leisure, fun, and engagement with your fellow human beings would be a second best option. Of course, it is not that binary of a choice. I believe the human mind is forever curious and tempted by the unknown, as it serves us economically to unlock some of the universe's secrets, even if it doesn't result in immortality. For example, the splitting of the atom provided us with an unlimited source of energy. Mastering electricity has conferred untold benefits and comfort upon humanity, and medical advances have more than doubled our life expectancies. I would also argue for some people, exploring the intellectual and physical limits of our universe is also entertaining unto itself, and so a combination of both leisure and these intellectual pursuits is the best way humans can live and enjoy their finite lives today. But before you get excited about a forever advancing society merely on the cusp of traveling to Alpha Centauri, populating the planets, and becoming gods, there's just one minor problem. Stupid people. And will be the end of us one way or another. The problem with stupid people. The problem with stupid people is they obstruct the ultimate three-goal aim of humanity and further obstruct, or at least lessen, our secondary goal of leisure and enjoyment. Stupid people, in short, cost society resources by making stupid decisions, which must at least be dealt with or fully remedied by the work, effort, and finite time of smart people. This detracts humankind in its pursuit of its three main lofty goals, not to mention pisses us smart people off who have to deal with the stupid. And before you think I'm on some high horse, think again. The price society pays for stupid people is insane. For example, what percent of today's economy and work is spent remedying the mistakes of others and not making actual progress or new production that will actually benefit society? A meal was prepared wrong, your mechanic failed to fix your car the right way, or something as simple as your data entryman put the wrong data in the wrong spreadsheet column. These simple mistakes cost twice, thrice, even quadruple the time, effort, and energy to put them right the first time. And if you had to estimate it, I bet you would find that about half our working hours are spent doing something right the first time after it's been done wrong 2, 3, or 4 times. Imagine if things were just done right the first time and the economic growth that would result from a mistakeless economy. We'd all enjoy standards of living around $120,000 per capita. That's, quote, a lot of money for you stupid people who don't know what per capita means. Another example, insurance. I don't just mean insurance against a tornado or hurricane or a statistically odd event of nature, but insurance against stupid people. Tina the suburbanite princess who is texting and crashes into your car. Assurance against a malpractice suit. Insurance in the form of home security systems productive people must invest in their homes in South Africa. And the entire global budget of police and judicial systems honest, hardworking people have to pay taxes for to insure and protect against criminals. Not one red cent of that money is spent on productive or enjoyable measures, but is instead an energy, time, and resource sink into paying for the stupid of society. Anytime you see a prison, remember that is a black hole sucking up your resources for stupid people. And illegitimate children. My goodness, illegitimate children. Illegitimate children were such a burden on society, and remain so today, because they were innocent yet the most expensive mistake two irresponsible humans could foist upon a society. Society was then forced to provide for these unwanted children, although some did do away with them anyway, which is an enormous tax. But society would not do so without first taking its enormous toll on people who brought these illegitimate children into society. They would be ostracized, excommunicated, or simply banned from society, condemning them to a ruined life of poverty and societal shunning. It is also why nearly every culture and religion insisted on having both first, a husband and wife commit to one another before bringing unwanted children into this world. Today, we instead celebrate stupid people in the form of baby daddies, baby mamas, and brave single moms. I could go on, but keep in mind this is the best case scenario when it comes to the price society pays for the stupid. The stupid have always been with us, and such historical expenses are the normal, everyday wear and tear society must pay for them. But if you dare form a democracy and give these idiots the right to vote, heaven help you. Because now you've changed the direction of society from the noble goals of attaining immortality, unlocking the secrets of the universe, and enjoying the intellectual company of one another, to that of idiocracy. Stupid people will outvote the smart ones so they simply don't have to work. Stupid people will outvote smart ones so they don't have to raise their kids. Stupid people will outvote smart people so they can major in the dumbest subjects at university and then immediately vote to have their student loans forgiven for said dumbest degrees. And stupid people will outvote smart ones so they can avoid paying the mortgage the bank stupidly gave them. Nearly every mistake stupid people will make, they will insist through democracy, and thus at the end of a gun, the smart and productive people bail them out. It has gotten so bad stupid people will even vote for entire make-work industries to be made for them so they can imagine and play make-believe adult thinking they're smart and productive people too. College, academia, nonprofits, social workers, etc. And worse, with so much resources being stolen from the smart by the stupid will inevitably outbreed the smart, permanently derailing humanity from the pursuit of its three main goals. Overall, societal IQ will tank, economies will inevitably stagnate, society will cease to advance, and the morons that populate the earth will be more concerned about sports ball than they will cold fusion. A meteorite will hit the earth, and the human race will end, never with a shot of attaining the total knowledge and immortality it was once capable of. All because of stupid people. The moral case for taking advantage of stupid people. The price smart people have to pay and endure because of the stupid is incalculable. Denying us the pursuit of immortality, total knowledge, and why we exist is alone reason enough to loathe the stupid. But the stupid even ruin our secondary purpose in life of enjoying leisure and freedom. And it's not so much that the stupid do this by requiring more and more of our lives to bail them out of the stupidity of theirs, but they then go on to ruin society, making it increasingly difficult, if not impossible, to enjoy. You cannot merely get a drink or a dinner without your ears being raped by the idiotic talking heads of Fox, CNN, TMZ, CNBC, or ESPN at the bar. Television must be everywhere, and its twin brother of pop music must be attached at the hip. Smart people's senses must be constantly assaulted by noise that the stupid of society dance to. How is LeBron James' jump shot? What did Donald Trump tweet today? What latest Hollywood harlotry is going on? Here's the latest shitty song by Rihanna you're supposed to like because we told you to. Newspapers print pieces to make dumb people feel smart just because they read The New Yorker, The Economist, or The New York Times. Movies are made that are crappy remakes and sequels of originals because nobody has the talent to make anything original. The public landscape is turned into a public eyesore with inferior minimalist art and architecture because the artists were too dumb and lazy to create anything beautiful, which is no better than the public themselves, where ugly people equally mar the landscape with their obesity, sleeve tattoos, purple hair, noodle soy boy arms, and Slavic fashion, not because they're, quote, independent-minded, but they are the most conformist conformies who ever conformed. And perhaps the epitome of stupidity is where the masses are dumb enough to be divided along racial, gender, and ethnic lines, so that smart people actually have to waste their time arguing against something as simplistic, elementary, and stupid as socialism. There are increasingly few morsels of true intellectual reward for the intelligent to enjoy in life, and the rest of society is quickly becoming a constant taxing pain smart people must endure every waking moment of their lives. It's perfectly moral and right for smart people to hate the stupid. But even this I could understand, as not everybody is Mensa material. Not everybody is going to appreciate a good Victor Borge skit over a Margaret Cho tampon joke. Not everybody has the intelligence to enjoy a good conversation over a mindless night of yelling at each other over loud music at a bar. And the majority of people are too stupid to answer the question, who's going to produce the stuff in a socialist society? I know the majority of people are going to be stupid, but if it was only simple, innocent stupidity. Because it's almost guaranteed that along with galactic stupidity, people are going to have arrogance and ego. They actually think they're smart. They actually think they're independent-minded. They, with their solidly average IQs of 100, their gossip shows and People magazines, their worthless humanities degrees, all of whom are financially insolvent, all think they know better than actual intelligent, nonconformist people. People don't even have enough saved up for retirement, live paycheck to paycheck, who consume the most erotic, idiotic slop, and all regurgitate what they're programmed to, dare to think they're special, they're unique, or they're intelligent, and that I have to deal with intelligent inferiors who confuse popularity and conformity with intelligence and are arrogant enough to think they're better because they're doing precisely what society has brainwashed them to do. I no longer view them as sad, forgivable creatures that are life's necessary retards smarter people have to endure. I view them as enemies completely responsible for the delay in human advancement and the lessening of my quality of life, deserving of contempt and being taken advantage of. Their contemptible nature, however, is ultimately moot. Because whether they are consciously evil or ignorantly arrogant, the role stupid people should play in society is not determined by morality, ethics, or whether we hate them or not. It's ultimately determined by what they're capable of. It is ultimately determined by what their opportunity cost is to society. And if you sit down and think about it, whether you loathe the stupid as I do, or forgive them as most others, they are capable of nothing. They are stupid. They truly have no value to society. To be blunt, the lives of stupid people are a pure waste of time and life. They really offer nothing of value to society. Do you honestly think Madison, the 23-year-old international communications major, is going to do anything notable in her life along with the equally pointless and common millions of other 20-something humanity majoring girls in society? Do you think Dude Bro Tanner and his finance degree with his least used Beamer is going to do anything except file for bankruptcy when his parents finally cut him off and his sales job dries up because the owner was embezzling money from the shareholders? Do you think Bambi the soccer mom will do anything beyond spending more than her husband brings home as she drives and invariably wrecks her Range Rover SUV around a tree with a Hillary bumper sticker on it? And the professional victim, be it race, gender, mental illness, or whatever, do you think they, along with the millions of other professional activists, are ever going to amount to anything beyond people who lobbied for a slightly larger government check? The vast majority of people are accomplishmentless, petty incompetents who replace anything of worth or value in their lives with religions, ideologies, political crusades, pop cultures, trinkets, baubles, materialism, and any other vicariosities. Also, they can avoid real work, but still feel good or popular about themselves. Forget whether they're stupid or not. Forget whether they're arrogant or not. They're simply incapable of delivering any value to society, which ultimately determines the role they should play in it. The role stupid people should play in society. Since the stupid are not capable of anything of worth, the only role they should play in society is that of cattle, chattel, or sheep. They are a crop or a livestock that the smart and intelligent should live off of, thereby making the lives of the smart easier and more enjoyable. I would also argue that they morally deserve to be taken advantage of and essentially be enslaved to the benefit of the intelligent people because they've deprived humanity of the pursuit of its three main noble goals. But this is a secondary and moot argument to the functional fact of what else are they going to do? Of course, nearly all of you are going to take umbrage and offense to this because it's effectively arguing for unconscious slavery. We are taking advantage of people who are handicapped and disabled compared to us. It's unethical and immoral to do this to people simply because they're, quote, stupid. But before you get all offended and think this is slavery, I want you to go to Amazon.com, shop for a full-length mirror, buy it, have it delivered, set it up, and then look in it because this enslavement is already happening and you likely fully endorse it. The majority of American stupid people are already rightly enslaved as the sheep they are, and their slave masters are oddly the institutions, people, and entities you all worship and praise. But what's worse, but really funny to us smart people, is chances are you not only are a sheep yourself, enslaved to people smarter than you, but you cheer on and endorse your own slavery. Let me count the ways. The Democrat Party has more slaves under its control now than it did before the Civil War in the South. And I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking about any fools who fell for their divide and conquer strategy along race, gender, sex, ethnicity, and even ableist lines. All of you privileged white women from the suburbs who had more of daddy's money shoved up your asses to major in worthless crap in school actually think you're oppressed because of, quote, sexism. Idiot college kids who major in worthless crap blame evil Republicans for the student loans they signed on the dotted line for. People of all races who simply spit out more kids than they can afford and then blame, quote, the rich because they're too stupid to know how sperm and eggs work. And let's not forget people who have come from every advantage in life but still need a disability and now make believe they have one of 31 flavors of gender or one of any number of increasing made-up mental illnesses. But what's truly stupid here is that the promises of socialism and other people's money utopia are never delivered by the Democrat Party. The lives of these people are horrible. Whether they're a forever poor sociology major who can never pay back their student loans, or poverty-stricken fifth-generation black family who religiously has voted Democrat, you don't make the connection that voting Democrat or for socialism has never worked, ever, once, and is actually the cause of your poverty and slavery. But you'll keep going back to vote Democrat because it feels good and they say the right things, right? Because feeling good is better than actually doing good, and that's how the Democrats keep you enslaved. Oprah, anyone? Of course, not just, quote, Oprah, but she epitomizes what I call the women's ass-kissing industry, the industry that blows smoke up women's asses to get them to buy things. You're all amazing, wonderful women who are so powerful and brave. No, you're not. I'm just another human being that happens to have a vagina and tits, and you're worthless until you do something of value and accomplishment in your life than merely being female. Why don't you try majoring in engineering, or perhaps go work on an oil rig, become an accountant, or maybe just raise some quality children instead of shipping them out to daycare? Of course, this is why Oprah is a billionaire and I'm not. But look at how many millions of women she enslaved by telling them sweet lies, yet ruined their family lives in the process. And forget Oprah, combine everything with the women's fashion industry, daytime television talk shows, the girl empowerment movement, one could even say feminism in general. They've convinced and thus enslaved the majority of women in this country that things are more important than humans. Careers are more important than husbands. Educations are more important than children. But how much do you want to bet those now aged baby boomer acolytes of Oprah, sitting in their condos afforded to them by their divorce settlements, are lonely, miserable, and with their cats? How many more generations of women are heading that same direction? And how happy of lives did they live being slaves to Oprah and the women's ass-kissing industry? Well, at least I'm sure they have some very nice shoes. The education bubble, anyone? Mercy, the irony here is that these stupid people actually think they're smart because they went to college. They don't understand what a loan is. They certainly don't understand what compound interest is. And they are way too stupid to study economics. But by gum, they got themselves one of them there degrees. They is so smart. The hypocrisy that these slaves think they're so intelligent and independent-minded makes me want to throw up and laugh hysterically at the same time. Regardless, again, who is the slave owner in this instance? And once again, it's people the slaves worship and view as their friends, teachers, guidance counselors, professors, and deans, all cheering you on to literally and financially enslave yourself for decades by borrowing $100,000 to give to them so that you in turn may get a piece of paper that qualifies you to work as a barista. But let me guess, I'm the one that's ignorant. Finally, there's corporate America. I view this as actual slavery not because you're actual slaves, you are paid after all, but when you step back and look at what careers, MBAs, professionals, and the rest of you powerful, successful sheep allow your employers to do to you, it is indeed slavery. First, you morons line up to indebt yourselves for 4-year degrees of dubious value. I say dubious because in nearly every job listing it says master's preferred, so once again you sheep enslave yourselves further for master's degrees and MBAs. Second, wasting your youth and crippling your finances for 6 years isn't enough, so you need to queue up, line up, and commute along with all the other cattle in rush hour. This is if you're lucky enough to land a job. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, commuting is the single worst scourge plaguing the world today since it directly cuts into your freedom and free time, which is all you have in life. But forget that. Corporate America and big education have successfully convinced you it's all worth it because work is what defines you, and your career is what gives you value. None of those nasty, icky, gross things like fun or hobbies or family. Third, you guys actually sit in cages euphemistically called cubes. At least actual slaves got outside a bit and some exercise. You guys sit on your asses for decades as time flies by looking at computer screens, all because someday you might get promoted to assistant reserve director with a window office. But let me guess, I'm just some guy who couldn't hack it in corporate America, right? You know a lot better with your $90,000 a year job. Oh, and your $75,000 in MBA student loan debt, $400,000 McMortgage on your McMansion, and a $500 a month lease on that used Mercedes you need to, quote, keep up appearances. Right, you keep thinking that. About the only thing that can make corporate America slavery worse is that whereas traditional men would sacrifice the youth working anyway, women have also been thoroughly brainwashed into thinking work is fun. I gotta say that again so maybe you can appreciate the gravity of that statement. Women have been convinced working is fun. Not fun is fun like flying kites, biking, hiking, painting, sex, or maybe spending time with the children, but that working is fun. Slavery is fun. This not only makes your corporate slave masters very happy because, as a, quote, strong, independent woman, you now have lowered wages by drastically increasing the labor supply, but you've made your government slave masters happy by paying more in taxes. You also made your big education slave masters happy, too, by all that debt you borrowed, and the women's ass-kissing industry slave masters happy with the thousands you borrowed to buy $2,000 handbags. But this isn't even the highest price paid for female career self-enslavement. In pursuing a career uber alles, women sacrifice their youth, beauty, and fertility, and thus a shot at a husband and a family, which could arguably be the reason humans exist. It is to simply have the love and company of a spouse and children. We won't even have to lift a finger. I could go on, but the list of self-enslaving sheep is just too numerous to enumerate. In nearly every aspect of society, you have the stupid enslaved by the smart, and usually that enslavement is achieved by promising the stupid a lie. Wealth, happiness, success, equality, and even, ironically, freedom. Lower IQ people whose minds are so weak they fear the real world and the toil that is required to achieve success and happiness in it are always looking for the cheat codes to life, the shortcuts to success. They will literally sell their souls, sell themselves into slavery to anybody smart enough to tell them what they want to hear. The question is, as a smart person, should you play by these rules you're more or less forced to? Previously, I detested my political adversaries for their leftist politics. They were for theft, they were for inferiority, they were for the commune and against the individual. They were anti-human, anti-carpe diem, and preferred failure over excellence and accomplishment. But now I have a reluctant respect, even admiration, for the professional leftists who get millions of people to willingly enslave themselves to them. Oprah is a genius. Obama, Pelosi, and the management of the Democrat Party are brilliant. Deans and chancellors of our university system are clever. And feminists, detestable as you might find them, you have to really tip your cap to them for them to convince nearly every single American woman that work is fun and the government is better than having a family. This has profited them on the order of trillions over the years and makes you, as a Machiavellian or merely a realist, wonder if you shouldn't get in on the action too. Because I don't know about you, but every time I try to help out a stupid person, try to prevent a young woman from majoring in something stupid, prevent a young man from going into debt, advocate fiscal discipline, or advocate freedom, I'm called a racist, a sexist, a homophobe, a bigot, or just plain jerk. And I'm getting sick of it. I still leave one line in the water to hold out for those genuinely intellectual people who have been misled and brainwashed, but they are the rare minority. The rest of the people are just plain stupid and arrogant on top of it. They absolutely deserve to be enslaved. Besides, it's what they wanted.